Let's move on now to the second email today. And the second email today comes to us from Alex Burton, who writes, "This weekend, I did a double feature at my theater with Captain Marvel and How to Train Your Dragon 3. That's a nice double feature. Before the latter, a trailer for a film called Wonder Park played. I didn't even know this film existed, yet apparently this reported $100 million film is opening this weekend. Unless there's some secret hype for this film that I'm not aware of, is this film going to be yet another box office flop for Paramount?" Greg, in the midst of How to Train Your Dragon 3 and in the midst of, we just had Lego Movie 2 and a lot of people are saying, wait, what's opening this weekend? And is this little film called Wonder Park. Is this movie just basically destined to flop at this point? Is this a film that just Paramount had no interest in and therefore didn't want to promote it? Or could this thing surprise us? What's your impressions of it right now?
Well, I cover a lot of trailers on my channel. I never covered this one, but I decided to look it up yesterday. I watched the trailer for the first time yesterday, and it looks all right. It looks more like a giant marketing animated gimmick more than anything else. But my personal opinion aside on what the film actually looks like, just looking at some numbers, the first trailer, the official one that debuted a few months ago, only had about 6.3 million views, which is very low for a Paramount Pictures film and for a film of this size. Like if that was Paramount's Pet Cemetery based off their budget, that'd be all right. But for Wonder Park, and then the second trailer dipped to 2.7 million. I feel like it'll make some money perhaps opening weekend, but I think even for animated films, especially now, there's kind of a higher bar set in terms of more than just being entertaining. Sometimes you get those films that do wonders, but like Lego Movie 2 is very much underperforming. How to Train Your Dragon 3 is doing well, and I guess the only competition it has coming up for Wonder Park specifically in that genre or department would be the live action Dumbo film at the end of the month.
Right.
But I don't think anyone's really gonna care about this. I feel like there's no hype at all for this film. Like the animation looks cool, but there doesn't really look like there's anything really to connect to or that hasn't been done better by DreamWorks or Pixar at this point. And I feel like family audiences are even more in tune with that now than just falling for some marketing gimmick. What about you?
I just can't get over the fact. Well, there's a couple things. Number one, the animation to me looked a little bit circa 2008.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it looked a little bit outdated at that point. No buzz. Now, this is actually a movie that has been struggling a lot for over a year now because they originally got this film going, I believe in 2015 is when they first got rolling on that. But then what happened was about a year ago, the director of the film, now at the time, the movie was called Amusement Park. It wasn't called Wonder Park. It was called Amusement Park for the longest time. And then the director, who was a Pixar animator, he never directed anything, but he's a Pixar animator. They hired him, say, "Hey, you were with Pixar. You must be brilliant. Come on over here." His name was Dylan Brown.
Okay.
They had to fire him over a year ago, or around a year ago, because of multiple complaints from staff about inappropriate behavior.
Oh,
so
God.
I don't want to go into all that and what that may have or may not have meant or whatever, but that's what they ultimately let him go over. And there may or may not even be a director attached to this right now officially at that point. And it feels like ever since they just kind of like quietly buried this thing. And it's like, well, we spent $100 million on this. We've got to at least put it out, but we're not going to waste another penny on marketing. That's what it feels like. So with all that in mind, is this... I mean, so Greg, seriously, if Paramount is looking at this and saying this movie has been cursed from the beginning, if that's how they're looking at it, and they changed the name to try to move past the director thing. They changed it from Amusement Park to Wonder Park. And Paramount just doesn't seem... Do you get their strategy to still just put on theaters? Or at this point, do you think maybe they just should have taken the loss and gone, you know what, let's just put this thing straight to home video and maybe recoup something there? Or is putting in theater the right thing to do at this point?
Is it like a New Mutant situation they have on their hands?
Ouch.
I think they're taking a decent gamble because I noticed that it's produced by Nickelodeon as well as its co-producer.
Yes.
And I don't know what the deal is with kids watching television or if they only watch streaming. I don't know that demographic at all and what their viewing experience is like. But I imagine at least on the Nickelodeon channel, they're probably running ads for this constantly on Nickelodeon. So maybe they're banking on that to see if like they can hook those kids who watch Nickelodeon to come out and watch their film. And I feel like they should take the gamble. If it's $100 million film, you might as well take the gamble.
Yeah, if you can at least get like 20 of it back, why not? I mean, sort of thing.
Exactly. So, I don't think you can make that money back if you release it straight to streaming or Blu-ray. I feel like you would have to release it in the theaters and take the shot that way. That being said, I don't think it's going to make its money back. I think it's going to fail. I
don't know that this thing's going to make 15 million opening weekend. I really don't.
Very surprised.
Yeah,
and
I have to wait and see.
I don't like that. I don't like either of those titles, Amusement Park or Wonder Park. It seems,
not their strongest marketing effort up to this point. Not in the